In this lesson, we will be focusing on the main display features. As you can see here on the screen, we have a data file screen open. If we want to maximize it, we can do so. If we want to change its size or anything like that, we can do so. Of course, we can hide this over here as we please. And for now, I'm going to hide that. Okay. What I want to show you is our ability to change the sample description. When you first make data, you may or may not make a very useful name. So we can go up here to what are you? Okay, that's available right here, and then it pops up the current sample description. And you can label a spectrum description in case you have two spectra or samples that are very similar. So that might help you out at one point. If we want to get that quicker, we just double click here anywhere on the screen, and our ability to modify the sample description pops up as an example. X, now it appears here. If you don't want to see this when you are publishing or doing screen capturing, you can hide this. We have to go to display options. Okay, under display options, there's a lot of capability here. We can hide the thumbnails, we can hide the hints at the bottom, we can hide annotation, file source, spectra description line, and then you hit apply and it all goes away except what you want to have there. All this experimental information is gone, the annotation is gone. That might be useful to you. We can also, in this mode, if you're not working with XPS spectra or you want to work with some other spectra, you can double click and change the title of this axis. We can change it to wave number if you happen to be working with IR spectra. You would change this to CM-1 and you say accept, close, and then down here you can see that the name of the axis has been changed. You can also change counts over here if you need to use a different descriptor for the y-axis counts as well as the units. So that is the capabilities of the main display unit. You can, of course, load up another spectrum here in this display so that you can start doing overlays. For example, I'm going to open up I've added another screen here. Another sample. And I'll use the tiling system to organize it. Okay. What I want to do now is to just collect or compare, let's say, the carbon spectra. I'm jumping. Here's the carbon spectrum from barium acetate, and I'll get the carbon spectrum over here from the silicon wafer. Let's see, right here. You can see that this is raw data, no peak fitting. The energy of that peak, as you press the mouse, shows at 285.7. If that's an acceptable number, don't do anything. Now we come over here, we're working with the some older data where we used a flood gun, and this is the hydrocarbon peak. We need to adjust this to be at 285. So to do that, we press this. We see that it's at about 278.5 EV. And then we come up here to the charge shift correction. We want to shift the peak to the left. So we need to put a negative number in there. So we want negative 6.5, let's say 6.5, and then accept. Now the spectrum is shifted such that it's approximately at 285, which is the number that I favor for processing data that is charged up. Here we can also adjust this one, but let's leave it alone for the moment. So let's make an overlay of these two. I want to show you the overlay capability at this point. So we grab the overlay window and it pops up. We have 4 choices. I'll choose the most common one, right? this one, simple max peak height overlay, accept, and then the one I want to overlay is over here. I hit the overlay, I select that, and then I select the overlay button again, and voila, I have the overlay spectrum. Okay, it's offset a little bit, we'll have to work on that, but this is very often what we use when we are processing spectra and making reports. That's the end of this session. Thank you.